Hey, Sean from Open Pantry Co, and this is the Prep List. Welcome to the first episode of our space series. Now, space is one of those ingredients that everyone has an opinion on, but very few operators actually measure. Most people talk about space in terms of vibe, atmosphere, and feel, and we'll get to all those across this series. But we're starting somewhere different, because before your room is an experience, it's a machine. It has capacity, it has flow, and it has bottlenecks. It has square meters that are either earning you revenue or quietly costing you money every single service. Today, we're talking about your room as a working machine and why most venues are leaving real revenue on the floor without realizing it. The trend I want to flag here is of what I call dead square meters. Every venue has them. The corner that no one wants to sit in, the two top wedged in the bathroom, the bench seat that's awkward to access, the section everyone walks through on their way to somewhere else. Individually, they look like nothing. Collectively, they're often 15 to 20% of your floor space, generating almost zero revenue while you pay rent, electricity, and cleaning every meter of it. And what I'm seeing right now is the operators under real margin pressure aren't the ones with the smallest venues. They're the ones with the poorly utilized ones. Two venues with the same square meterage, the same rent, the same menu, and one is doing 20% more in revenue per service. Almost every time, the difference comes from how that room is laid out and how the space is actually being asked to perform. Because the room you have isn't the room you're using. And the gap between the two is often where the easiest gains in your business are sitting. Here's the tool for this episode, what I like to call the 3-question capacity check. Question 1. What's your seat-to-square-metre ratio? It's a basic number, but most operators don't actually know it. Once you do, you can compare it to the industry norms and to your own service style. Whether it be a wine bar, a casual cafe, and a fine dining room, all sit on very different ratios, and your fit-out should reflect that. Question 2. What's your turn rate per section? Not just your overall covers, but how each part of your room performs. Your front section might turn 3 times in a service, while your back section only turns once. That's not a guest problem, that's a layout problem. Question 3. Where are the bottlenecks? What's your Friday night service from the corner? Where do you guests pile up? Where does a team have to slow down? Where does the flow break? Every bottleneck is a revenue cap. Get those 3 numbers and you've got the start of a real conversation about what your room is actually doing for you. The operator move for this episode. Pull out your floor plan for your venue. It doesn't matter if the original architect's drawings are hand-sketched or on a version of a napkin, get it on paper. Then mark up these 3 things. First, your highest revenue tables across the last quarter. Second, your lowest revenue tables over the same quarter. And third, the spots where service consistently slows down. You'll see patterns immediately. And once you can see them, you can design around them instead of just hoping the room sorts itself out service by service. Question for your team for this episode. Which tables in this venue do we secretly hope guests don't sit at and why? Your team will know. They walk past those tables every single shift. And the answer is always pointing at a fixable layout problem hiding in plain sight. Before we wrap up, space is one of our 8 ingredients that we look at in our pantry review at Open Pantry Co. And one of the reasons we spend time on it is because the mechanics of a room shape almost everything else. Your covers, your team's pace, your guest experience, your margins. All of it sits on top of how well your space is actually working. If you want a structured look at whether your room is performing as hard as it could be, reach out to us via our email in the show notes. Next episode, we stay on the mechanics, but we shift the lens to the line between front of house and back of house and how space either supports or sabotages your service. Thanks for listening, and as always, that's your prep list.